Hello. Perfection is too fragile. Show us heartbreak and the ability to love again. Show us fear and the ability to conquer it. We want to see you laugh and cry. Simultaneously, we want to see you live. Break the glass surrounding you and walk to the other side, where fragile are the things you don't relate to. With this, I spread a warm word of welcome to all our distinguished guests present here for the Grade 12 Performance Poetry Night. I request everyone to switch off your mobile phones or put them on silent mode.
I hereby invite Parthe Vasani to perform the excerpt from the TV series Cosmos, A Personal Voyage, written and hosted by Carl Sagan. The show was first aired in 1980 and became the most widely watched series in the history of American public television until 1990. In this excerpt, Sagan explores 14 billion years of cosmic evolution and the development of science and civilization while mixing science and philosophy. Over to you, Parthe.
Let me tell you a story about the beginning. Some 14 billion years ago, our universe began with the mightiest explosion of all time. The universe expanded, cooled, and darkened. Energy condensed into matter, mostly hydrogen atoms. And these atoms accumulated into vast clouds, rushing away from each other, that would one day become the galaxies. Within these galaxies, the first generation of stars was born, kindling the energy hidden inside matter and flooding the cosmos with light. There were, in those times, no planets to receive the light, and no living creatures to admire the radiance of the heavens. But deep inside the stellar furnaces, nuclear fusion was creating the heavier atoms, carbon and oxygen, silicon and iron. These elements, the ash left by hydrogen, were the raw materials from which planets and life would later arise. At first, these elements were trapped inside the hearts of the stars, but massive stars soon exhausted their fuel, and in their death they returned most of their substance back into space. The interstellar gas became enriched in heavy atoms. In the Milky Way galaxy, the matter of the cosmos was recycled. New generations of stars were now rich in heavier atoms, a legacy from their stellar ancestors. In the cold of interstellar space, great turbulent clouds were gathered by gravity and stirred by starlight. The heavier atoms condensed into grains of rock and ice and complex carbon-based molecules. In accordance to the laws of physics and chemistry, hydrogen atoms had brought forth the stuff of life. In other clouds, more massive aggregates of gas and dust formed later generations of stars. As new stars were born, tiny condensations of matter accreted near them. Inconspicuous motes of rock and metal, ice and gas that would become the planets. And on these worlds, as on interstellar clouds, organic molecules formed, made from atoms that were cooked inside the hearts of the stars. In tide pools and oceans of many worlds, molecules were destroyed by sunlight and assembled by chemistry. One day on these natural experiments, a molecule arose that, quite by accident, made crude copies of itself. As time passed, self-replication became more accurate. The molecules that copied better produced more copies. Natural selection was underway. Elaborate molecular machines had evolved. Slowly, imperceptibly, life had begun. Collectives of organic molecules evolved into one-cell organisms. These produced multi-celled colonies. Their various parts became specialized organs. Some colonies attached themselves to the seafloors. Others swam freely. Eyes evolved, and now the cosmos could see. Living things moved on to colonize the land. there were the reptiles for some time, but then they gave way to small, warm-blooded creatures with bigger brains who developed dexterity and curiosity about their environment. They learned how to use fire and tools and language. Star stuff. The ash of stellar alchemy had emerged into consciousness. That is what hydrogen atoms do, given 14 billion years of cosmic evolution. We are a way for the cosmos to know itself. Thank you.
Thank you, Parthe.
A mother's love has no limit, be it human or divine. Our next performance reflects the emotions and wrath of Ceres, the goddess of agriculture, when her beloved daughter Proserpina is abducted by Pluto, the king of the underworld, with the help of silly little earthlings. I call upon Sakshi Mehta to recite this self-composed piece, which will take you all on a journey of animosity, love, and clemency.
The people of earth did challenge my power and authority. It seemeth thee has forgotten who I am. I am Ceres, the goddess of fruit, poison, and fertility. I am the benevolent Roman goddess to them. The humans had called me splendid Ceres, and they did love me for my own service to the mankind. But what did I receive in return? The teen and sorrow of losing my own beloved daughter Proserpina. And not only the humans, but also yond crafty Pluto shall be punished, as that giant was the one who did this heinous crime. And so did I punish this earth to aid the underworld king, that on thy earth it shall dryeth up and faileth poison. Not co-equal the smallest seedling that germinate, and nigh grain shall grow. The earth shall then see the consequences of it. Because if it be true, I did bless all with fertility, I has the power to snatch it. Hence, this mystery of Ceres shall not wend in vain. All shall suffer, suffer shall all. But still thou art are all blessed because of Jupiter, as that gent intervened and did get a solution. Solution for the misprison my beloved did. The misprison of eating a pomegranate offered by the underworld Flibberigibet. And in and according to fate, my lovely shall not be completely free. But all hail to Jupiter that I shall receive my daughter for 6 months a year, and the rest 6 with the devil of hell. And at which hour with him, the earth shall besiege the fury of winter, be cold, bitter, and blasted, because I am not blessing the earth without my own daughter. And at which hour the lady returns back to her mother, me, Ceres, shall pour down blessings of spring on earth, and yon day itself, you humans, shall also be relieved of this bishrew, and for the next 6 months be blessed with summer, grains, fruits, and fertility. These are the words of Ceres, and the lady shall bind by it.
Thank you, Zinal. कितना बेबस हो जाता है इंसान जब किसी को खो भी नहीं सकता और उसका हो भी नहीं सकता। यह कविता द्वारकाधीश श्री सुरेंद्र शर्मा की एक प्रसिद्ध रचना है, जिसमें राधा अपने मन के भाव कृष्ण के सामने प्रस्तुत करती है और कुछ शिकवे और शिकायतें अपने प्यार को जताती है। ऐसे विचार को प्रस्तुत करने आ रही है जीनल जोशी।
स्वर्ग में विचरण करते हुए अचानक एक दूसरे के सामने आ गए। विचलित से कृष्ण, प्रसन्न चित्त सी राधा। कृष्ण सक पाए, राधा मुस्काए। इससे पहले कि कृष्ण कुछ कहते, राधा बोल उठी, कैसे हो द्वारकाधीश? जो राधा उन्हें कान्हा कान्हा कहकर बुलाती थी, उसके मुख से द्वारकाधीश का संबोधन कृष्ण को भीतर तक घायल कर गया। फिर भी किसी तरह अपने आप को संभाल लिया और बोले राधा से, मैं तो तुम्हारे लिए आज भी कान्हा हूं, तुम तो द्वारकाधीश मत कहो। आओ बैठते हैं, कुछ मैं अपनी कहता हूं, कुछ तुम अपनी कहो। सच कहूं राधा, जब जब भी तुम्हारी याद आती थी, इन आंखों से आंसुओं की बूंदें निकल आती थी। बोली राधा, मेरे साथ तो ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं हुआ, न ही तुम्हारी याद आई, ना कोई आंसू बहा, क्योंकि हम तुम्हें भूले ही कहा थे। जो तुम हमें याद आते, इन आंखों में सदा तुम रहते थे, कहीं आंसुओं के साथ निकल न जाओ, इसलिए रोते भी नहीं थे। प्रेम से अलग होने पर तुमने क्या खोया, इसका एक आईना दिखाऊं? कुछ कड़वे सच प्रश्न सुन पाओ तो सुनाऊं? कभी सोचा है इस तरक्की में तुम कितने पिछड़ गए? यमुना के मीठे पानी से जिंदगी शुरू की और समुंदर के खारे पानी तक पहुंच गए। एक उंगली पर चलने वाले सुदर्शन चक्र पर भरोसा कर लिया और 10 उंगली पर चलने वाली बंसरी को भूल गए। कान्हा, जब तुम प्रेम से जुड़े थे तो जो उंगली गोवर्धन पर्वत उठाकर लोगों को विनाश से बचाती थी, प्रेम से अलग होने पर वही उंगली क्या क्या रंग दिखाने लगी, सुदर्शन चक्र उठाकर विनाश के काम आने लगी। कभी सोचा है इस तरक्की में तुम कितने पिछड़ गए? यमुना के मीठे पानी से जिंदगी शुरू की और समुंदर के खारे पानी तक पहुंच गए। एक उंगली पर चलने वाले सुदर्शन चक्र पर भरोसा कर लिया और 10 उंगली पर चलने वाली बंसरी को भूल गए। कान्हा, युद्ध में और प्रेम में यही तो फर्क होता है। युद्ध में आप मिटाकर जीतते हैं और प्रेम में आप मिटकर जीतते हैं। कान्हा, प्रेम में डूबा हुआ आदमी दुखी तो रह सकता है, लेकिन दूसरों को दुख नहीं देता। आप तो कई कलाओं के स्वामी हो, स्वप्न दूरदृष्टा हो, गीता जैसे ग्रंथ के दाता हो, लेकिन आपने क्या निर्णय किया? अपनी पूरी सेना को कौरवों को सौंप दी और खुद को पांडवों के साथ कर लिया। सेना तो आपकी प्रजा थी। राजा पालक होता है, उसका रक्षक होता है। आप जैसा महाज्ञानी उस रथ को चला रहा था जिस पर बैठा अर्जुन आप ही की प्रजा को मार रहा था। अपनी प्रजा को मरते देख आप में जरा भी करुणा नहीं जगी। क्यों? क्योंकि आप प्रेम से शून्य हो चुके थे। आज भी धरती पर जाकर देखो, अपनी द्वारकाधीश वाली छवि को ढूंढते रह जाओगे। हर घर, हर मंदिर मेरे ही साथ खड़े नजर आओगे। आज भी मैं मानती हूँ लोग गीता के ज्ञान की बातें करते हैं, उसके महत्व की बातें करते हैं, लेकिन धरती के लोग युद्ध वाले द्वारकाधीश पर नहीं, प्रेम वाले कान्हा पर भरोसा करते हैं। मैं मानती हूँ गीता में मेरा दूर दूर तक भी कहीं नाम नहीं, लेकिन आज आज भी उसके समापन पर लोग राधे राधे करते हैं, राधे राधे करते हैं। धन्यवाद।
If some are faithless, wilt thou find no love and truth in womankind? Doing others of thou wilt but own the truth which all my life has shown. The Ramayana is a living story that through recitation and performance continues to give a new meaning to life by engendering a sense of identity. But hidden behind the thorny ivy of patriarchy, Sita wishes to be heard. We invite Param Jabak, accompanied by Rena Mehta on the piano, to recite a self-composed poem, the Sitayan, providing us her perspective on the Ramayana. We welcome Param and Rena.
Janak's daughter, Janki, Mithila's princess, Maithili, born in a furrow, Sita, born in Ma Dharti's womb, Bhumija, Ram's wife, Raghu clan's daughter-in-law, buried under the weight of titles and expectations, deep, deep under the mud. Who am I? छोटे से बड़ा तक, छोटे से बड़प्पन आने तक मिट्टी में खेलती. But I did not know that as a wife in a great clan, I would never be allowed to dig. I was showered in attention, in learning from a young age. पर मुझे क्या पता था कि परछाई में छुपी न्याय दिला सकती है एक स्त्री? उठा तो ले गया रावण मुझे, उठा तो ले गया रावण मुझे, पर वो क्या जानता था कि मेरे श्री राम को अपनी पत्नी पुनः जीतने की आवश्यकता थी. उनके गौरव की बात थी, उनके सम्मान की बात थी. It did not matter to my Ram that I had left the comforts of my upbringing and marital home to follow him into the Danda. It did not matter to him that I had pined for him and stared stonily into danger's face and refused all of Ravan's advances for him. For I was to be left in Lanka as a woman who had been coveted by a man other than him, punished for being helpless when a demon set up lifted the Kailash, lifted me and dragged me to a prison. My devotion of Ram saved me from being Ravan's, and it cost me a walk through fire. जनक राज का कठिन प्रणय सुनो सुनो सब कोई, जो तोड़े शिव धनुष को तो सीतापति हो. In some retellings of my story, Ravan too tried his hand at the Dhanush. Some say I was vain, I laughed at him when he failed, और इसी कारणवश मेरा अपहरण हुआ. In some story, I was told as Ravan's daughter from Mandodari, cursed to bring his doom. Hence, I was abandoned by him. What happened in my life at every instance seems to me as decided by a man. खैर, वनवास से लौटे बड़े धूमधाम से स्वागत हुआ. महर्षि वशिष्ठ के आदेश अनुसार राज तिलक, नाम गंगा सी पवित्र सीता, Queen Sita, eulogized for following my husband to the forest, for being faithful, for walking unharmed through fire. मानवता तो खो बैठे जब सभ्य नगर के वासी. गुप्तचरों को एक बात सुनाई दी. धोबी की पत्नी किसी दोस्त के घर रात रह आई थी, तो धोबी ने घर से निकाल दिया. स्त्री थी ना, क्या करती बेचारी. मैं भी स्त्री हूं, मेरे भी पति ने एक ऐसे पुरुष की सुन मुझे भी मेरे घर से निकाल दिया. ऐसी सीता माता की परीक्षा लेके दुख दिन टिठुरानी आती को दया भी नहीं आती है. When my sons went to sing the Ramayana at the court of Sri Ram, I was afraid. Afraid that they wouldn't return to me. that they would learn from the society a very sickening concept of female inequality. I was called to court. I was asked to prove my faithfulness again. They think I was not harmed by the fire when I first walked through it. I was ripped of the desire to please this society. I was ripped of my choice. Hence my final test. माँ धरती की कोख में जन्मी एक स्त्री दिव्य कहलाती है। माँ धरती को कैसे इतने सारे स्त्रियों पर यह अत्याचार सहन होता है? If today I speak from her womb, I speak of all the tears my mother has soaked, has used to nourish the nature, has used to give. Just like me and every other woman, clawing out from that deep, dark mud of titles, expectations, and false stories, I realize I am something on my own. I am a woman. I am a woman. I am a woman.
Thank you, Param.
I am in love with the shape of you. Love is in the air and it's just for you. He proved this by banging me on the floor, enjoying my screams and laughing at my weakness. Rape. It's the greatest of the sins and it needs to be talked about to put an end to it. So here we have Haley Butt and Feni Shah accompanied by Dhruv Viramgama performed When We Talk About Rape, written by Akanksha Sinha.
Rape. When we talk about rape,
When we talk about
rape, we're talking about
Confidence. At the age of 11,
12,
when my mother first told me that boys would want to touch me
would want to put their hands between my thighs.
or lay them across my chest, I was confident that she was wrong.
Girls and boys play football together
Girls and boys like each other
and make code names.
and giggle. Why would anyone try to
Anyone want to
touch me like that? Me especially.
I giggled awkwardly and ran from the room. The first chance I could get to plunge myself back into innocence.
Innocence? When I later began to understand what rape meant and the kind of strength it took to fight it, I was confident that I was strong enough, prouder of my muscles than girls were supposed to be, and trained enough to occasionally win in martial art fights against girls my own age and size. I was sure that come whoever or what may, I had the power to defend myself.
And I was confident that
No one,
no tall, heavy stranger could ever touch me in a way I didn't want to be touched. When I was first taught the importance of the word
no,
I was confident that I would never have to use it, and even if I did,
somehow the power in that syllable seemed to be incomprehensible. I was convinced of its invincibility,
pictured myself uttering that word in every danger,
falling.
away in fear of it.
Consent
They said.
was what mattered, and it seemed like if I didn't give it, no one would dare to lay a hand on me. I stood in front of a mirror repeating no,
No.
and feeling power reverberate in my bones, confident that I was loud enough to be heard. And one day,
One day when I grew older and my hips were wider, and my lips were unchapped, and my waist was small enough to be held encircled by two firm clasping hands, I found that he had the confidence to take what he wanted, to view my body as his right, confident that I wanted it, that I liked it, that I craved for the touch of his skin on mine, between my thighs, on my chest, confident that if my no was soft,
No.
it was a no! When I talk about rape, I talk about my loss of confidence. My loss of confidence in my body, in my mind, in the power of my voice and my words. When I talk about rape, I talk about the confidence we put in our girls to speak and our boys to listen. I talk about the confidence we put in our friends to stay friends. I talk about the confidence we put in our bodies to be bodies, not objects. And our love to be returned as love, not pain, as love, not shame, as love, not rape.
Thank you, William, Penny, and Drew. I thought the purity of femininity could never leave my body. I ask you to see my scarred beauty today, destroyed by eyes not very different from yours. The poem, I Was Just a Child, self-written by Krishna Pandey, talks about dealing with molestation, which millions of girls can relate to. Over to you, Krishna.
I was just a child. I was too young to know why it ached in my thighs. But I must lie. I must lie. No, I don't care if this rhymes. I just want him to know what he did was such a grave crime, and he knows it. Every friend I know has a story like mine. We talked about it. From our way back from school, we talked about how I thought I was going to be safe in my own neighborhood. We talked about how we were going to be safe because we followed every single rule. But I want to talk about it right now, because there is no socially acceptable time or place to talk about rape. I remember I showered 6 times that day, because even if I drowned myself in my own tears, it was just so hard to clear your handprints off my skin. The silence choked me as if I never learned how to create any sound. But here I am now. Here I am now. My porcelain hands felt numb. I was just so stupid and dumb that I did not shout. I could have hit him. I could have screamed, but I was just a child. I was just a child. When Mom asked me if I wanted to go out on a ride, I would just want to run away and hide. But I just simply said no. I wish that same no had the same power in front of you. I wish it was true the way I believe that my no could bring down all the enemies I knew. When I hid my report card, Mom noticed. The same way I wish she noticed the way I hid this from her for 8 long years. I didn't even want air to touch me. I wanted to tear away my clothes, but I was just so afraid of seeing myself naked. I wanted to shave my head because my hair was something so sacred. I felt the blood circulation in my teeth. as if invisible black ink was all over me, and I would never again be the same color that I once used to be. It still aches in my stomach when I think about that day. I was panting. My chest felt light when I wrote this narrative. So here, I stand in front of you with only one request. Please treat her kindly, love her, and ask her her story, and then shut up and listen. Black, Asian, poor, wealthy, trans, cis, Muslim, or Christian, listen. And then yell at the top of your lungs, be a voice for those who have prisoner tongues, for the people who had to grow up way too young. There is work to be done, there are songs to be sung, and the Lord knows that there is still a war to be won. Thank you.
Thank you, Krishna.
Gender stereotyping, a practice that conforms and binds an individual to certain antisocial norms. Our next performance urges to recognize what being a real gentleman means. It sets aside the idea of measuring masculinity on the basis of social norms and addresses the fact that men should be allowed to whoever they want to be, and there are no ideal qualities of being a gentleman. Please welcome Shri Joshi performing Gentleman Kise Kehte Hai, written by Gaurav Solanki and originally performed by Ayushman Khurana.
जेंटलमैन किसे कहते हैं? यू नो, मर्द का एक स्टीरियोटाइप है, बड़ी माचो वाली हाइप है। वो घर चलाएगा, लड़की को बचाएगा, वो रोएगा नहीं, वो वीक नहीं होगा। मुझे लगा ये तो साला कुछ ठीक नहीं होगा। मुझे ना हीरो, ना सेवियर, ना सुपरमैन बनना था, जो रो सके, जो गा सके, किसी को बचा पाए तो बचा सके, ऐसा मैन बनना था। मैं हिंदी में सेंटी होता हूँ, पंजाबी में गाता हूँ, ऐसा मैं। मुझे टाई बांधना नहीं आता पर खाना ठीक ठाक बना लेता हूँ, ऐसा मैं। तुम्हारी इंग्लिश स्लो या फास्ट है, मुझे फर्क नहीं पड़ता। तुम गे हो, स्ट्रेट हो, तुम्हारी क्या कास्ट है, मुझे फर्क नहीं पड़ता। I know that the heads have told you to play it too cool, and father asked you to be as disciplined as if you are always in school. उन्होंने बोला जेंटलमैन बनो, पर यह भी बोला कि मैन का जेंटल होना खराब है, क्योंकि तुम्हें तो ऑनर बचाना है, जादू वाला परफ्यूम लगाना है, उसी से तो लड़कियां तुम पे मरेंगी। पर मरेंगे क्यों? उन्हें मरना नहीं चाहिए। मैं जहां हूं, जहां खड़ा हूं, उन्हें डरना नहीं चाहिए। वो पिंक और पिंक फ्लॉयड के बीच में कुछ भी पसंद कर सकता है, अंधेरा ज्यादा हो तो वो भी डर सकता है, क्योंकि वायलेंस उसके साथ भी हुआ है। पेट्रियार्की ने उसको भी गलत तरीके से छुआ है। वो जल्दी बड़ा होने के बोझ के नीचे बंधा होता है, दिल उसका भी 300 ग्राम का ही होता है, पर उस पे लोहे का सोशल कवर चढ़ा होता है। उसे बस कार और गन के खिलौनों में मत बांधो जब वो बच्चा हो। जरूरी नहीं कि वो ड्राइवर अच्छा हो सकता है कि मशीनों के काम में थोड़ा कच्चा हो, पर मर्द होने की इकलौती शर्त यही है कि वो सच्चा हो। अब जरूरी नहीं कि मेरा पैशन गिटार हो, कूल हो, मेरे हाथ में लड़की के लिए फूल हो सकता है मेरे पास एक लंबी गाड़ी हो, मेरी लाइफ की हर एक राइड पूल हो। तुम्हें पता है, थोड़ा बच्चों को मैं भी संभालता हूं। वो घर आती है तो जिंजर वाली चाय भी उबालता हूं। लड़का और लड़की में फर्क बहुत है और ये फर्क खूबसूरत है। ये मैं जानता हूं, पर फर्क करने को सबसे बड़ा गुनाह मानता हूं। शायद इसीलिए अपने दोस्त से कहता हूं कि जरूरी नहीं उसके लिए कुर्सी खींचना या गाड़ी का दरवाजा खोलना है, पर जब कुछ गलत हो तो सबसे पहले बोलना। क्योंकि 6 पैक से नहीं बनते मर्द, ना ज्यादा कमाने से बनते हैं, ना चिल्लाने से बनते हैं, ना आंसू छुपाने से बनते हैं। किसी को ठंड लगती है तो दिल उसका भी सर्द होता है, कि जिसको दर्द होता है असल में वही मर्द होता है। तू चाहे कारपेट पे सोए, चाहे रेड कारपेट पे चले, let me tell you, you are the most powerful as long as there lives a gentleman in you. Thank you.
Don't cry. Are you weak? Strong people don't cry. These judgments often make us swallow a lump down our throats and bat our eyelashes towards the sky to hold our cries in. But no one ever says us, it's okay to cry. It's okay to cry when things go out of control, when everything may not seem right. It's okay to cry. Purni Mukherjee, accompanied by Reena Mehta on piano, will now present a performance written by Saini Raj surrounding these thoughts.
When I was younger, I dreamt of a world. This world did exactly turn out to be, and that would sometimes make me sad. To think that no one really gets me. Some days would feel heavier than the rest, and yet the show must go on to constantly feel like you are being put to a test, wondering why me? Where did I even go wrong? Here's something I wish I knew sooner to get past the pain, for it hurts more. The more you hold it within. Cry. Cry your eyes out if you must cry when it rains and it doesn't. Cry if you have stubbed your toe against the side table. Cry if your Wi-Fi connection isn't stable. Cry when your heart aches. Cry if nothing is going your way. A moment of introspection is all that it takes. Tears aren't a sign of weakness, but of the courage to keep going. Besides, it's a great way to detox and give yourself a chance to begin again. So don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Not your friends, fiends, or advertisement, for only if we encouraged each other to share our feelings, we'd create a world with no judgments. And once you're done with all your crying, have a good look at the tissues you wiped your tears with. They are soaked in what we call pain, and it's gone. which means you already made it. This isn't a magic trick, so don't expect miracles. But you'd be surprised to know that it works wonders whether you are a saint or a prig, for everyone hurts and everyone errs. For everyone hurts and everyone errs, the hunter and the prey. And the better way to know that you are alive is to know that you can still care. So cry. Cry if you miss a lost friend. Cry if that math problem is too tough to comprehend. Cry if you feel overwhelmed, and try to seek for help even when you feel that there's no one but yourself. You know what? You'd be surprised to know that how many people see merit in crying and healing through it. For beverages are meant to be bottled up and not human feelings. And once you're done with all your crying, have a good look at yourself in the mirror. It's amazing how you have made it despite all the fears. They said nothing lasts forever. Trust me when I say this feeling will pass, tomorrow will be a new day. This isn't just a poem, but a piece of a heart. What's gone is gone. It's time to restart. It's time to restart. Thank you.
Thank you, Purni. Unreliable, a poem by Sarah Kay, is revolving around a poet's art and the poet's artistic life. It is the culmination of reality, emotions, and the description of the incredible journey the poet's been on. Although it's been nothing but fascinating, there's always some doubt left unanswered. And that's the beauty of the artist's life. It's unreliable. Let us have Ayushi Kataria and Trisha Shah perform this poem.
Where is my prize for the most unreliable narrator? I would never lie to you, but I lie to me all the time. I say, look at that bird, this childhood memory, that light falling across his body in the steam. I say, boom, a stone truth, a poem. And you, trust me, you trace your finger along the constellation I'm insisting into existence and allow my rickety astrology to determine the weather. But this is all dominoes. I am just trying to put enough words between now and the end to trick the end into coming later. I slip single doses of myself into pockets of everyone I love. Worried about serving sizes, hoping they do not sour once I'm gone. I spent 32 years in New York City, and every metaphor is tagged with taxi cabs and subways. I spent 2 weeks in the woods, and suddenly every poem is swelled with rhododendrons and the smell of firewood. I'm the most porous sponge that ever sponged. I throw myself off every emotional cliff and build a pogo stick on the way down. I am not an optimist, but I play one in the group chat. I don't know who I think I want absolution from, but I carry around a shiny report card everywhere I go, just in case. I thought I wanted a boyfriend, but actually I want an audience. My father carried around dried mushrooms from the market to the wood table on the front porch, just so that he could see the way the late afternoon sun made marks on his crackled skin. He called my mother out of the house so she could stand next to him and look at it too. They both were so excited, they forgot to close the screen door, and bugs made a home of the kitchen. I have never accomplished anything in my life other than that 7-mile run to the lighthouse. This land, someone else's,
this language someone else's, even the churning fear that pours out of me in inheritance? Or if not inheritance, then a reaction, a riverbank formed out of a rushing past I had nothing to do with.
I make a phone call, and when you don't answer, the whole house falls down around me. I am the center of my own dramatic universe, and it appalls me in my dream.
From somewhere down a hallway of locked doors, a voice asks,
What if you aren't as bad as you suspect you are? What if you'll never be as good as you ache? And then, softer, like a whisper that wouldn't even fog the glasses. What if what you are is boring and alive? What are you going to do then?
Thank you, Ayushi and Trisha.
Women's poetry is seen to be centered around the innocent little lives, trembling with love, hurt, and equality. This one here, penned by one of the most celebrated and misdemeanored female figures, Sylvia Plath, is about paranoia, aggression, and the trials of humanity. Lady Lazarus is an allusion to the biblical character Lazarus of Bethany. Jesus' magical power saved Lazarus from dying. However, in this poem, Plath compares herself to the character as she tried to kill herself several times, but failed to do so. Please welcome Birwa Jadeja performing Lady Lazarus.
I've done it again. 1 year in every 10 I manage it. A sort of walking miracle. My skin bright as a Nazi lampshade. My right foot a paperweight. My face a featureless fine linen. Peel off the napkin, oh my enemy, do I terrify? The nose, the eye pits, the full set of teeth. The sour breath will vanish in a day. Soon, soon, the flesh the grave cave ate will be home on me. And I, a smiling woman, I'm only 30. And like the cat, I have 9 times to die. This is number 3. The first time it happened, I was 10. It was an accident. The second time, I meant to last it out and not come back at all. I rocked shut as a seashell. They had to call and pick the worms off me like sticky pearls. Dying is an art like everything else, and I do it exceptionally well. I do it so it feels like hell. I do it so it feels real. You could say I have a call. It's easy enough to do it in a cell. It's easy enough to do it and stay put. It's a theatrical comeback in broad day to the same face, the same place, the same brute amused shout, a miracle that knocks me out. There's a charge for the eyeing of my scars. There's a charge for the hearing of my heart, it really goes. And there's a charge, a very large charge for a word or a touch or a bit of blood or a piece of my hair or my clothes. So her doctor, so her enemy, I am your opus, I am your valuable, the pure gold baby that melts to a shriek. I turn and burn. Do not think I underestimate your great concern. Ash, ash, you poke and stir. Flesh, bone, there is nothing there. A cake of soap, a wedding ring, a cold filling. So her Lord, so her enemy. Beware, beware. Out of ash I rise with my red hair, and I eat men like air. Thank you.
Thank you, Birwa. Please welcome Aditya Pandya with the poem I Won't Write Your Obituary by Nora Cooper. It is a heartfelt poem that best conveys the feelings and thoughts of someone who is on the other side of their loved one, fighting depression and wrestling with the idea of killing themselves. Over to you, Aditya.
Namaste. You asked if you could call to say goodbye if you were ever really gonna kill yourself. Sure, but I won't write your obituary. I'll commission it from some dead-end journalist who'll say things like, at peace, better place, for the good fight, maybe reference the loving embrace of capital G God at least 4 times, maybe quote Charles Bukowski. And I won't stop them because I won't write your obituary. But if you call me, I'll write you a new sky, one you can taste. I'll write you a DIY cloud maker, so on days you can't do anything, you can still make clouds in whatever shape you want them. I'll write you letters, messages in bottles, in cages, in orange peels, in the distance from here and the moon, in forests and rivers and bird songs. I'll write you songs. I can't write music, but I'll find Rihanna and get her to write you music. If it'll make you want to dance a little longer. I'll write your body whose veins are electricity, because outlets are easier to find than good shrinks, but we will find your good shrink. I'll write you 1-800-273-8255. That's the suicide hotline. We can call it together. And yeah, you can call me, but I won't tell you that it's okay, that I forgive you. I won't say goodbye or I love you one last time. You will not live on good terms with me. I will not forgive you. I will not read your last rites, absolve your sin, watch you sail away on a flaming Viking ship, my hand glued to my forehead. I won't hold your hand steady around a gun. And after, I won't come by to pick up the package of body parts that you will have specifically left for me. I'll get a call like, sir, what would you have us do with them? And I'll say, burn them, feed them to stray cats, throw them at school children, hurl them at the sea. I don't care. I don't want them. I don't want your heart. It's not yours anymore. It's just a heart. I already have one. I don't want your lungs, just deflated birthday party balloons that can't breathe anymore. I don't want a jar of your teeth as a memento. I don't want your ripped off skin. A blanket to wrap myself in when I need to feel like you're still here. You won't be there. There's no blood there. There's no life there. There's no you there. I want you. I want you. And I will write you so many dead friend poems that people will confuse my tongue with your tombstone and try to plant daisies in my throat before I ever write you an obituary while you're still here. So, the answer to your question is yes. If you're ever really gonna kill yourself, yes, please. Call me. Please call me. Thank you.
What happens when a place you once called home is taken away from you? What does it feel like to start all over again in a new land? Go Back to Your Own Country is a bilingual spoken word poem in Hindi and English by Mumbai-based poets Ankita Shah and Ramnik Singh that questions how we treat refugees. I call upon Archie Manwar and Tanvi Raichura, accompanied by Dhruv Virangama on guitar, to present this moving piece.
राशन की लंबी लाइन में प्राणनाथ खड़ा रहता है इत्मीनान बांधे, अपनी बारी आने पर फिर से ये सुनने की राशन खत्म हो गया है, कल आना। अच्छे लोग हैं,
मुंह पर ये नहीं कहते कि तुम्हारे लिए राशन नहीं है, जाओ भूखे मरो।
In Aleppo, the schools and hospitals Munar Khaltoum built have turned into ruins. His $60,000 a year has plunged to $4,000 from pushing cloth through sewing machines. Even though he can build structures about 50 times bigger than what he now lives in, he settles for much less than what he deserves.
For he must not steal jobs in a refuge country.
ये जे म्योन घर बकियास त्राविये, ये मेरा घर है, मैं इसे क्यों छोड़ूं?
ईशान ने आखिरी बार अपने बाबा के मुंह से यही सुना था और बस। शहर बदल गया, बाबा साथ नहीं आए। उसे इस बात का भी मलाल है कि जम्मू में उसे शिकरे नहीं दिखते, डल के पानी में ढलते सूरज की लंबी लकीर नहीं दिखती।
7-year-old Anyala is mutilated in a hospital bed several miles away from her home. That one night felt like a deck of cards. When the bomb came off the sky like a disoriented but determined shooting stars on the walls came crashing down upon cousins, uncle and aunts. Seconds before their final draw of breath, their failing of hearts. She wants to walk to a home that does not devour Abu and Ammi, but she is terrified. She thinks all the walls are about to crumble and the roofs about to fall.
छोटी इंदु अब समझदार हो गई है, घर जाने की जिद नहीं करती, रोती नहीं। बस दिन भर दरवाजे पर बैठकर यही सोचती रहती है कि सारे चिनार कहाँ चले गए।
Where is home?
बस सरकार ये सरकार वो करते करते हम भूल जाते हैं, हम अपनी नाकामियां भूल जाते हैं, हम भूल जाते हैं कि हमने भी अपने अपने घरों में मुल्क बना रखा है जिसकी सरहदें हैं, जिसके दुश्मन है। हम भूल जाते हैं कि हमने अपनी इंसानियत के दायरे अपने मकान की चार दीवारी की तरह छोटी कर दी है।
We live in pseudo-democracies where we are represented by the state. The state is represented by you and me. And we go on pretending, succumbing, adjusting. कितना कुछ है जो हम मान लेते हैं।
जानने की कोशिश किए बिना हमें बचपन से सिखाया जाता था कि कोई किसी के हिस्से का दाना नहीं खाता। फिर कौन है ये लोग जिन्होंने हमें डरा दिया, सिखा दिया कि हमारी नौकरी ले जाएंगे, हमारी जमीन खा जाएंगे। उस सब के लिए जो हमारा है ही नहीं, हमको हम ही से लड़ा दिया, हमको कोई और बना दिया।
Who taught us to draw political maps on the faces of people that enter our country? Who taught us that there are only 196 kind of people because there are 196 countries? We are all one earthquake, one civil cry short of becoming refugees, and that speaks a lot about the fault lines under our own democracy.
And look at our audacity to say, go back to your own country.
Thank you, Archie, Tanvi and Dhruv. Gun violence is no less than a nightmare, but to America, it is an everyday reality. 12 children in America die in school shootings every single day. To present the plight of such children, I invite Olomi Maru and Sanjna Sachdev, accompanied by Vaibhavi Adesra's contemporary dance, to present before us a piece called Countdown to a School Shooting, originally performed by Valley International Prep students.
The diameter of the bomb was 30 centimeters,
and the diameter of its effective range,
about 7 meters,
with
4 dead and 11 wounded.
And around these,
In a larger circle of pain and time, 2 hospitals are scattered,
and 1 graveyard,
but the young woman who was buried in the city she came from
at a distance of more than 100 kilometers,
enlarges the circle effectively.
But the solitary man mourning her death at the distant shores of a country far across the sea includes the entire world in a circle.
And I won't even mention about the crying of the orphans.
That reaches up to the throne of God and beyond,
Making a circle
with no end and no God.
Countdown to a school shooting.
10.
Good morning, Southern California. I wish I could
Hey
just
folks
hit
at
the
home,
waves
we're
right
looking
now.
at
It's looking
98 with the
amazing
light
out there.
breeze. It's a beautiful day. 9.
The
The average class size in LAUSD is 40.
Of those students,
20 will be diagnosed with mental illness.
1,
2,
3,
4 will receive treatment. If there isn't time to acknowledge a problem, there won't be time to fix it. We are wind-up toys marching to a pledge of allegiance.
like soldiers given no direction.
There are standards we must reach, tightened every day. We are given only the option of breaking ourselves or breaking each other. 8.
Teaching is more than just a textbook, more than creating lesson plans and preaching for hours. Our words should be their bulletproof vests wired without the fear
Fear of exploding.
But it's hard to maintain with inspiration being as rare as a 4.0. 7.
I'm in my psych class taking notes on anxiety and I keep seeing my reflection in the paper. My hands are shaking and I can't read my notes. If I can't read my notes, I can't pass the test. If I can't pass the test, I can't pass the class. If I can't pass the class, I can't go to college. If I can't go to college, I can't get a job. If I can't get a job, I can't do anything. But maybe Katie has the notes. 6.
I once asked Katie for her notes and she told me to
Get some friends. I thought I had some. I thought she was one.
I always think things others tell me are wrong, like when I say my favorite color is red like blood. They say I need help, but they never give me. Keep me silent no matter the cause, but they can't ignore me anymore.
5. There are 480 minutes in the average school day. That's not enough time for any of us.
8 hours is enough time to help only those who reach out.
But they're all struggling. We're all struggling. Our fears have been drowned in your backlash and expectations.
They forgot on how to gasp for air.
Oxygen is running out faster than water in California.
Faster than passion can replace it.
4. You don't solve a problem by disguising it, medicating it, ignoring it, letting it continue so long that the operation of trying to remove it has become more dangerous than the problem itself. 3.
Attention students and teachers. This is an official lockdown. We've identified an armed student. Please remain as calm as possible. We've notified the authorities and they're on their way.
2.
It all starts with neglect.
They put you in a corner, bury you in darkness, paint you as the black sheep so you become invisible. And I meant it literally. That's the thing about my generation. They assume everything is a joke, but I am not a joke. They will not be laughing. No one saved me. Who will save them? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. It's a beautiful day.
Thank you, girls.
In the modern, fast-paced world, we are raised to chase our dreams and desires. It is heartbreaking how we tie our happiness and peace to our achievement. This beautiful poem reminds us why the rat race won't bring happiness. If you are one of those who keep going from one achievement to other in search of happiness and contentment, you would definitely relate to this poem, Sukoon Ki Talash Mein by Pallavi Mahajan. Please welcome Purni Mukherjee, Vishwa Mehta, accompanied by Rena Mehta on piano.
जो तुमसे है दिल को मेरे कसम से सुकून मिला तुझे है पाया रब से है दिल को मेरे कसम से सुकून मिला सुकून मिला
सुकून नहीं मिलता ना आजकल। एक रूह है जिसको सुकून की तलाश है, एक मिजाज है जिसको आवारगी की तलब है। नाम तो उसका नहीं पता, शायद वो हम में ही है कहीं लापता। क्यों ढूंढ रहे हो पास में, एक बार देख लो अपने आप में। सुकून, सुकून है क्या ये सुकून जिसको हम तलाशते? कुछ इसी पर बात करने आई हूं मैं आपके वास्ते। तो सुकून की तलाश में, सुकून की तलाश में तू फिरा इधर उधर था, मगर जहां छिपा गई नहीं वहां नजर। तू सोचता रहा यही, तू सोचता रहा यही कि एक दिन मिलेगा वो, जब मिलेगा सब तुझे, हाँ तभी दिखेगा वो। तू छोड़ आया एक शहर, तू छोड़ आया एक शहर, तू छोड़ आया एक गली, जिंदगी के संग चला वो जिधर जिधर चली। ये नई सी थी जगह, ये नई सी थी जगह, आसमां भी था नया। तू उड़ा बहुत मगर फिर जरा सा थक गया। इस उड़ान ने तुझे था यहाँ बहुत दिया, चाहतों को पर तेरी नया मकाम दिख गया। तू फिर उड़ा, तू फिर उड़ा ये सोच कर कि जो तलब थी अब तलक खत्म होगी, ये वहां जहां दिखी है एक झलक। लंबा ये सफर रहा, हौसला मगर रहा, आ गया नजर में वो जो दूर से ही था दिखा। एक शख्स था वहां, फेरे अपना मुंह खड़ा, उसके पास वो सुकून तुझे कभी जो ना मिला। तूने उससे ये कहा कि रास्ता कठिन रहा, खुश मगर मैं हूं बहुत, मुझे सुकून है मिल गया। क्यों अंधेरा है यहाँ, फेरे मुंह तू क्यों खड़ा, चल सुकून को बांट ले, मैं आदमी नहीं बुरा। फिर हुई थी रोशनी, फिर हुई जो रोशनी, वहां नहीं था कोई भी, हाँ मगर था आईना, था आईने में अक्स भी। वो अक्स था तेरा वहां, वो अक्स था तेरा वहां, जो था सुकून लिए खड़ा। हंस के कहने ये लगा मैं तुझ में ही सदा रहा। तो जो इंसान जिसकी सारी उम्र गुजरी है सुकून को तलाशते हुए, ये सुनकर बौखला जाता है, खुद से सवाल करता है कि क्या ये महज जुनून था, कि पास में सुकून था, क्यों मुझे खबर न थी, क्या मुझ में ही था ये कहीं। जो दूर थे उनकी चाहत की नजरअंदाज किया उन्हें, जो थे पास में बेचैनियों के शहर में फिरता रहा, एक पल सुकून के तलाश में। इंसान को ऐसे देखकर वो सुकून, वो अक्स उससे कहता है कि क्यों खुद से इतना लड़ रहा, क्यों खुद से इतना लड़ रहा, जो चाह तूने पा लिया। अब समझ ये बात है तू जो तुझसे मैं हूं कह रहा। दौड़ में यहाँ सभी नहीं मुझे तलाशते, दौड़ में यहाँ सभी नहीं मुझे तलाशते, नाम देते हैं कई खाक पर है छानते। मैं दौड़ में आराम हूँ, मैं दौड़ में आराम हूँ, मैं खास ना हूँ आम हूँ, हर किसी में हूँ बसा, मैं फिर भी सबका ख्वाब हूँ। आंख मूंद तू अभी, आंख मूंद तू अभी, अभी खड़ा है तू जहां, मुस्कुरा के ढूंढना मैं तुझ में भी छिपा हुआ। जिंदगी जो थी तेरी चाहतों में थी गिरी, जिंदगी जो थी तेरी चाहतों में थी गिरी, तीरगी में तू रहा तो मैं तुझे दिखा नहीं। तू तीरगी को काट दे, तू तीरगी को काट दे, तू रोशनी को साथ ले, अब सुकून को खोज मत, है क्या सुकून ये जान ले, है क्या सुकून ये जान ले, ये जान ले।
जब खुद को पाया रब से, मिला इतना प्यार सबसे, सुकून मिला, वही सुकून मिला।
Thank you.
Heartbreak may be the most ravishing and cringe-worthy of spectacles. Veer Kamdar here is about to present a self-written poem, My Little Star, that scrambles to fall somewhere in the middle of the spectrum and shine through the dull spell cast by film and song at the same time. Over to you, Veer.
I walk a few steps into the corner, owing to a generous sweep and a proud night of no rest, to pierce through heaven, say that it might well enough be my fate to then forget, envelop and thrust your memory into the numerous gaps of my day, until I choke you to death in my alcove. For the sheen in your eyes is worn off, layer by layer, seam by seam, unknotting me naked, hiding behind the curtain until I change into a different garment, a different you. For this hangover might just not wear off easily, shrinking all others to a hallucination, vibrating beside you both ways, until I have another bottle, closer to death, stepping still into the niche, crouching against a mountain, posing to find the vigor on the peak of pride, to fight you, defend my love, looking down as the wind blows, rattling all that is left. For then I might be reborn, tamed enough not to be a curse, as I fall right in the center of all the stones in the valley, glistening against the blinding future, awed by my power, my pride, as I piece you apart, word by word, climbing over the summit of irrational loins, manifesting the lies, the fantasy, for one last time, as you drain away in a pool of blood, leaving no streaks, no clues to follow, laying my head against the bay, sitting down with a sigh of triumph, as I memorize my river song, for there was a long way to row before, and even if I'll have to walk now, knee-deep, half immersed in the pool, a cloud of burgeoning yellow tries my resolve. I know I'll sink a day, but before then, before that, there must be so many bottles to drink, I swear, and refill from the ocean, to find an elixir that might soothe and soothe my voice, as I sing my bird song, which might just be your voice, lost in the orgy of desire, stricken by tiny pills of glamour that wear off, soon as I open my eyes, for I will have forgotten your face, misapplied in countless dimensions, more than I could bear, or your body could hold, until the love on my fingers wears off, leaving nothing to hide, nothing to ask for, only to give in to an old lure of a boy and his desires, setting fire to the jungle, the world, which would otherwise be a snow globe, dancing to the misery of a girl and a boy under the Son of God. As I unclasp my fingers from your broken hand, holding my palm were to betray me, hurt something else, were I to bring this to my lips, stained by my tears, remember that it's fine if you don't, that I hold my head high, because yours is, that there is something nasty, something cruel, but unforgettably blissful, between always and never.
Hey Hate Dad. Imagine a tender boy who has no idea about his father, his existence, his replica. But he knows that there's someone called Dad. Growing with those questions and emotions and those tears is something far beyond our imagination. Brandon Leake has used his poem as an open letter written by the boy to his dad, with whom he shares a years-long strained relationship. Brave Consagra is going to depict this turmoil through his performance.
Hey Dad, my 5th birthday party is coming up, and I think I'm getting an ice cream cake. Do you like ice cream cake? Well, I'll save you a slice. Love you, Brandon. Hey Dad, my 10th birthday party is next week. And when I woke up this morning, the first thing Mom said was, "Wow, you look just like your dad." Maybe that's why my reflection is so unfamiliar sometimes. Anyways, I really hope you can make it to the party this year. I miss you a lot, Dad. I miss you a lot. All right, well, I'll see you at the party. Hopefully. Sincerely, Brandon. Hey Tyron, I just turned 16 years old today. And about a week ago, I thought about inviting you to my birthday party. Because all the kids at school always ask, "Are you gonna be there?" And I always end up telling them that you are out of town. Now, Mom told me to stop lying so much. But technically, you are out of town. So I guess I wasn't really lying, because what's little half-truth, you have only ever known half your roots. But I am tired of sticking up for you. I'm tired of these sleepless nights. I'm tired of coming up with excuses for your absence. I'm tired of trying to reform my self-image into something that you would consider to be beautiful. I'm tired of trying to earn the title of being called your son, as if it wasn't my birthright. Dad. So you know what? Dad or Tyron or whatever the hell you are, I'm done. Because all I ever wanted for you was to acknowledge my existence, but despite my persistence, I haven't even met resistance, just absence. And I still hate the fact that I want you to be here. But I'm done being part of this delusion, the idea that you, a mirage, could alleviate my confusion. I'll need you. I never did. I never did. This is my last letter to Tyron. Goodbye. Dear Tyron, for 25 years, I cried in the pillow sheets, wondering why you left me. Wondering what could I have done to have earned your love. Or how I pushed you so far away. Your absence, like a flame, found home in the kindling of my insecurities. And my mind became a wildfire, and as I ascended in age, my soul turned a rage because I wanted to move on. But I simply couldn't turn the page, or I didn't want to. Because somehow being angry with you still made me feel close to you. And despite our lack of history, Tyron, I have come to learn that pain, like secrets, can only control you if you hold them within. So I have laid down these woes at the altar of Christ just so I can tell you this. I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you so I can finally be free, no longer shackled to my misery, because this situation This situation is so much bigger than you and me. This right here is generational healing. Because I am getting married soon, and I want our first chapter together to be started off on the right page with you by my side as I marry my bride. Because Tyron, for the first time ever, I can actually say, I love you. And I really mean it. So, will you be there for my biggest day ever? Sincerely and with love, your son, Brandon.
Thank you, Brave. The deep-rooted, primitive need for power exists in all humans. But something arguably happens when that part takes over a person and possesses their sanity. I invite Twani Balchandani to perform a gory, self-written piece titled A Song of Fury, loosely inspired by the character from the Game of Thrones, King Aerys II Targaryen, popularly called the Mad King. Please welcome Twani.
I am Daenerys Stormborn of House Targaryen, first of her name, the Unburnt, Queen of the Andals and the First Men, Khaleesi of the Great Grass Sea, Breaker of Chains, Mother of Dragons, and rightful heir to the Iron Throne. If I can't be king, no one can. Father said, you were the ivy which had hid my princely trunk and sucked the verdure out on it. I have not a son, and I cannot have a girl ruling the throne. It would put the estate in a state of madness and revolt. Well, guess what? I was the madness and revolt Daddy feared so dearly. I simply slipped some of his garden herbs in his tea until his blood stopped coursing through his veins, until his lungs stopped expanding like an ocean with calm waves, until his guttural warm voice became cold, quiet, going quieter and quieter into the night, sinking into the depths of the abyss underneath, gasping for air, struggling to stay alive. But bam! There's no coming back. No coming back from trusting his own daughter. No coming back from being naive. No coming back from not being good enough for the kingdom. I shall burn the kingdom down. Burn it down in the glory of the queen. Burn them all. I am the embodiment of God, and anyone who dares think of going against me shall face the wrath of a dragon. I want to watch people burn. The way their skin will blacken and blister and melt off their bones. I shall burn lords I don't like. I shall burn hands who disobey me. My pyromancer shall blaze caches of wildfire all across the city, beneath the sept of Baelor and slums of Flea Bottom, under houses, stables, taverns, even beneath the Red Keep itself. I shall burn them all. I want to dance to the beats of wailing children. Burn them all. I shall burn houses, sisters, mothers, brothers, and with it the ambitions of the petty common folk and their memories and identities. Burn them all. I shall drink the holy blood of children as wine. Burn them all. The gods shall look down on my kingdom, looking like a marigold from heaven, with flames in every corner and twist and turn. They shall fear me and submit to me instead. Father shall look down and be proud of his little girl and how much she is like him. He killed my mother to save the boy in his womb. And as I stood there, he held my little brother in his arms, declaring him heir for throne over the still fresh dead body of my mother covered in red silky blood. Father told me he loved me, but he sang the same cradle song that mommy sang to me to the little beast who came after me, yet for the power could not just stand there and watch that, could I? So in the quiet of the night, I lifted 1-month-old Aries' fragile body, and he smiled at me, knowing that what I was going to do was right for the kingdom. I touched his delicate temporal vein. Oh, how fresh his pulse was. I can still feel his blood throbbing against his veins on my fingers, the same fingers which grabbed his throat and put him out of his misery, the misery of not being good enough for the kingdom, the misery of being a second born to a mad queen. Am I descending into madness like my grandmother Tanya or my great-great-grandfather Edward? Because this feels quite comfortable. This feels like home. I did this for the betterment. Blood is necessary for renewal. From the ruins, a new kingdom shall rise. One for men, women, and children alike. A fair kingdom. One my late mother would have loved to reside in. The lullaby she sang to me. High in the halls of the kings who are gone, Jenny would dance with a ghost, the one she had lost and the one she had found, and the ones who had loved her the most, ones who'd been gone for so very long. She couldn't remember their names. They spun her around on the temple stone, spun away all her sorrow and pain, and she never wanted to leave, never wanted to leave, never wanted to leave, never wanted to leave.
They dance through the day and into the night, through the snow that swept through the hole, from winter to summer and winter again, till the walls did crumble and fall. And she never wanted to leave, never wanted to leave, never wanted to leave, never wanted to leave, and she never wanted to leave, never wanted to leave, never wanted to leave, never wanted to leave. High in the halls of the kings who are gone, Jenny would dance with her ghost, the ones she had lost and the ones she had found, and the ones who had loved her the most.
As this beautiful evening of varied feelings nears its culmination, let us listen to Alomi Maru, Priyansi Gowani, Sanjna Sachdev, and Vidwata Mehta, accompanied by Dhruv Viramgama on the guitar, presenting before us a self-written piece to let us in on their skepticism on the emotion that makes the world go round: love.
field of dandelions, wishing on everyone that you'll be mine, mine.
But we were just kids when we fell in love, not knowing what it was. I will not give you up this time.
I have died every day waiting for you, darling. Don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I've loved you for 1,000 more.
Romeo, take me somewhere we can be alone. I'll be waiting. All there's left to do is run. You'll be the prince and I'll be the princess. It's a love story, baby, just say yes.
What is love?
How do you know you found the one?
How do you know you love someone?
What is the purpose of love?
How many times do we fall in love?
How do you measure love?
Why do we fall out of love?
Why do we love someone more after they leave?
Do I love them or the way they make me feel?
Is love at first sight even real?
Is it possible to not fall in love for a lifetime?
Not falling in love for a lifetime. They'll say it's a crime.
Will they still love me when I'm no longer beautiful and young?
Why is young love so high-strung?
Is love dangerous?
Or is it adventurous?
I think it's marvelous.
I think it's ridiculous.
Is true love true?
I don't have a clue.
Why is it hard?
Why is it
So damn hard to love?
To love,
To care,
to trust,
to desire,
to admire,
to make room.
to let love bloom?
to compromise.
to sacrifice.
It's just so damn hard.
Was it really love when in the notebook Noah hung himself off the Ferris wheel and told Ali he'd let go if she didn't agree to go out with him,
Thereby coercing a yes out of her. Was it really love when it ruined the sanctity of something called consent in the name of romance?
When it was a creepy guy called Romeo and his rebound Juliet, two kids who got married after having known each other for
Just a day.
Was it really love when Rahul fell for Anjali just because she now had
Long hair and wore a sari. When it was what the Joker fell for Harley, even though he physically attacked her and often abandoned her.
when Prince Philip kissed Princess Aurora when she
Didn't even know the man,
let alone having consented to it.
when Prince Charming fell for Cinderella while he did
not even recognize her.
without makeup and a pretty dress.
When Kabir Singh asked all of Preeti's classmates to stay away from her because
वो मेरी बंदी है. They say that humans were originally created with 4 arms,
4 legs,
and a head with 2 faces.
Fearing their power, Zeus split them into 2 separate beings, condemning them to spend the rest of their lives in the search for their other halves.
But then why did I fall in love 7 times?
Maybe the first time was infatuation.
Maybe the second was power.
the 3rd lust,
The 4th, boredom.
The 5th, loneliness.
the 6th obsession,
And maybe, just maybe, the 7th time was really love.
But I thought I was in love with all of them. So then what really is love?
Guess we'll never know.
Thank you, Sanjana, Alomi, Priyansi, Vidvata, and Dhruv. This night has truly been the definition of an exhilarating exploration. And as all good things do, it has come to an end. The performance poetry night has been an immaculately invigorating culmination of academics and artistry. We express our heartfelt gratitude to the TGS sound and lighting team, the volunteers and the teachers for believing in us and giving us their untiring support. Please give them a huge round of applause.
Can we have the staff members also joining in, please? Komal ma'am, Luna ma'am, wherever. They are here already? Yes? No? Yeah, please come. Komal ma'am and Luna ma'am as well. So it can be a little scary to look at the newspapers and wonder what's happening, and then we go to school every day and see this, and we're okay. Because I think the country is in great hands if we have all of you talking about such stuff. So whether it's uncomfortable topic like rape and suicide, or even from Greek mythology to Roman mythology to Indian mythology, but we won't have blind faith in it all. We'll talk about peace and love and harmony, and we have an opinion on everything. So I think that's wonderful to see that you are the future over here. Fantastic job, guys. Can we have one more round of applause for them? Thank you for being so patient, and we'll end as per tradition with the national anthem. So, Assembly, Saudhan.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Assembly, Vishram. Thank you everyone, and have a good night.